Welcome to Living with Intuition Coffee Chats, your source of real perspectives, insight, and humor from down-to-earth, kick-ass intuitives. Join Lindsay from Super Secret Powers and Andrea from A Soul's Journey with Andrea as we delve into today's coffee chat. Hello, everybody. Did I bring my phone in?
Oh, that phone is elusive.
It is. Here it is.
Okay.
Hey!
Weird phone things lately.
Nobody's allowed to contact me. That's why. Don't call me. My phone's missing.
Oh,
There we go.
Now I see me better. I'm not falling off.
Hey, it actually shows me. Okay, I could look at comments and everything. You know, it's a weird retrograde eclipse stuff. It really is. Because most of my tech, and I'm not even going to knock on wood because I don't think I need to, but most of my tech is actually doing pretty darn good. It was just a couple machines that are not doing well. But they're in the process. That's all getting fixed up. So
yeah, you got a new sweeper today. Yay.
Yeah, so, well, welcome to Living with Intuition. Today we are just talking about loving into the Eclipse Chaos because it's an intense week leading up to the big thing, the big event.
Yes.
So, hello, Katie and Rolly and Lisa. This is just a casual conversation, so feel free to jump in on the conversation, ask questions, comments. This isn't really about the specific energies of the big North American eclipse. This is just more like, how do you deal with all the stuffs that's happening from the perspective of being an empath or an intuitive. I mean, yesterday we had almost a whole day of intense Schumann spikes. But now NOAA, the space weather people, my brain isn't right today, but the space weather people on their 27-day forecast, they don't have anything like big or woohoo scheduled for the 8th. Not scheduled for, but predicted for the 8th. So, and from just the numbers that were on the report, it looked like last weekend actually had worse space weather than Eclipse Day will. But, all we can do is see going forward and kind of live through it. I don't know about you, but even with those really intense Schumann spikes and energies and all the different transits that were happening yesterday, I think my energy was better yesterday than it is today.
Yes.
Today I'm I'm in a fog that I can't quite get out of. Oh, but it is a rainy and chilly day here in Pennsylvania, so I'm sure that is contributing to it as well. I have the finger aches and everything.
Yeah. And clearing my throat all the time. Yesterday and today, I think the rain is doing that to me because I take my allergy stuff and everything. But so excuse me if I constantly clear my throat because I'm like, can't help it.
So where have all you been? What is coming up for you this week, and what feels like it is just, starting to come to a climax? It's a weird way to ask it, but it's what it always just feels like on the internal for me. So what has been going on with you?
Well, I finished my Holy Fire Reiki classes finally. We had been rescheduled for the master teacher class, so we finally got that done, and I'm so excited and so energized by it. and because of that, like in November when I did level 1 and 2, it kind of happened, but this is much more intense when we receive the holy fire symbol and a whole bunch of stuff goes on, and the master teacher that really upgrades you. And I went through like a tiny mini version of a Dark Night of the Soul in November because of that, all unraveling in me to make way for this new expansive energy that's coming in. And so it happened again. And I feel like everything that the eclipse would have brought and the retrograde would have brought happened like 2 weeks early because Holy Fire kind of activated it early. I really do. I feel like like because as soon as retrograde hit, like April 1st came, and I felt totally different, like totally like at peace with life and issues and problems and everything. Like, oh, it's gonna be okay, kind of feeling just snuck in, like oh, and this big lift came, like and I shook it out, and I'm like, I feel like retrograde's not doing too bad this time around. I'm like, wow. But I've been doing a 21-day um, challenge for a Reiki meditation in our Holy Fire Masters group, and we I think that's activating me every morning because now I'm waking up with all these insights and I have to either write it down. I've been doing poetry and prayers on my Facebook page and everything. I'm sure you've seen it come through. Tons of holy fire insights coming through. And just like my intuition is like alive and well, very like focused and I'm in the groove. And I really feel like it's just getting that kind of energy for me is getting stronger as we get closer to the 8th for the eclipse, because it's like all these things are coming together. Like I'm seeing like the bigger picture, like instead of always worrying about what's gonna happen tomorrow kind of thing. I'm like, oh, I can do this now. Oh, I can do that. Or oh, these two things work together. And I'm not even talking about business wise with that stuff. I'm talking about just like with the magic in me, like all my gifts, like, oh, these guys go together and these guys go together. And it's like all these things that like that you've forgotten that you try to remember, like they always say, we're always trying to remember. It feels like I actually got new downloads of things I never used before or even conceived. So this is like where I'm at right now. So it's actually in a very exciting time. And I am like so hot all of a sudden just talking about it. I'm on fire. Yes, I am.
No, I'm certainly getting the remembering part. Um, but I had to, I had to jumpstart myself because, like, I know better. So tip the tip number one is, especially this week and going into the couple days after the actual big eclipse event, watch where your resistance is. Watch all those things that you've been putting off, that you think you have more time on, that okay, there's something in there about timing in general. Like maybe consciously ground, consciously really pull yourself back to this kind of center present moment, and then look at where your resistance is, because there's something about time. Like time is going all sorts of weird and wonky as we get close to this, and I don't think that has anything to do with CERN. I mean, CERN doesn't really have anything actually planned for the 8th, other than they're just trying to get online from their winter break as soon as possible. If it happens to be on the 8th, great, but I'm still like, you're trying to like turn on this big complicated machine during Mercury retrograde. All right. All right, good luck with that. We'll see what actually happens. um but the remembering part, and I'm not quite, so I had to like kick start myself. And so I would go and I would poke and prod at things that were kind of like a book that's been on my list for a while. So I'll start to read it now. Trying like just some different things just to get my energy different from where it was. Now, I had been stuck in some pretty heavy, pretty dense energies, just grief and dealing with my husband passing and the big transition and all the little like stuff, so the phone calls, like all that kind of stuff. And I like this week I got on the schedule again for making all the phone calls I need. I started the taxes, I did this, I did that, like, I'm making this concerted effort to just kind of head things off at the past before eclipse. We'll deal with it.
Right.
Because it's like you don't want eclipse to deal with it. Because it's not going to happen. Like, yes, it always happens in your favor, but it's, it won't happen then necessarily in a way that's necessarily comfortable, or that will give you a whole lot of options in how you deal with it. So, I mean, certainly this week, address where all of that resistance is in your life, on your to-do list, those things that keep, just kind of coming back around in your head, and you're like, oh, I should get to that. Well, at least start planning and prioritizing how to get to it before eclipse or something like that. It says, like, deal with it now. Like, I don't care if you're in the middle of a meeting, deal with this now, please.
Exactly. Yes, I find myself making, like, when I wake up and I have all this stuff in my head, I find myself also making lists of things that I really need to do now. Don't let this leave your mind, Andrea, so that you forget about it and it just slides under everything else, because it's so important to get done now this month. It sets you up for the whole year. I've been hearing that a lot because, like, well, since last year I've been hearing what a great year this is, but now it's like, yes, yes. And I know you have questions about that because it doesn't feel like that yet. And this is how you're getting there, because you need to put things in motion. You need to clear things up so you have room for this growth. And and that kind of stuff happens when you've been wanting to paint your garage for years and you never did, or I need to clean this room out and declutter, or all these little things that we always have in our mind that really would be healthy for us if we did it.
Yeah.
Would really free us up, make us focus better, let things run a little bit smoother in life. But we put it off because things are chaotic in our life, with work and kids and everything else we do.
Yeah.
But sometimes we just have to take that breather and see what really is important on those, like, to-do lists and everything, and, like, get it
but and sometimes it's not just what you think is important.
right.
Sometimes it's like putting like your cards down for a minute and like looking at like what the deck's been bringing up. We play crazy rummy a couple times a week, right? And you have to it's only a little bit of skill involved, and then it's really the luck of the draw. And so
Right.
sometimes you can't plan on what you're going to pick up.
You have a strategy a little bit.
Right. So
because you learn as you play.
But then as you look at what the deck's doing, and the deck's like diamonds, 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 you're like, well, maybe somebody should pick up those diamonds.
It's later you're going to need it.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't necessarily, like, go big and grandiose and thinking and call it like, oh, this is like destiny or fate or anything. Like, because, we're just using the analogy of a card game.
But it's telling you something. And we laugh about it as it happens.
But sometimes in the big matrix that we do live in, all those pattern repeats do mean something. And maybe you should take advantage of that, leverage that. Maybe that's the solution that's just trying to come through, that in the background is going to, fix a lot of stuff later, because it's dealt with maybe something in your energy system or something in your belief system, or, it's that you can then take heart and say like, oh, well, look how that worked. Right. Maybe I need to try just a different tack. As we go forward here in 2024, because no, it's not going to feel like this wonderful year, because we're building. And what I've learned from just trying to build a business for the past years is that building phase, like, it's so easy to believe that you're always going to be stuck in this, I'm slogging through it, because there's no supports yet. You're building the supports. Right. You're trying to figure out what supports are going to work. And like, it's this like blind kind of trial and error process. It really is. And you have to invest yourself in that kind of life experiment, in a sense, when you are beginning to build something, or beginning to build the foundations of, like, maybe rebuilding your life after like 2020, you know, or after loss, or after,
Right.
um so the more we hold on to that what for me, and so I don't say this lightly, because this is absolutely just where I've been this week, is like, you can't hold on to the but I'm in a sad.
Mm,
um Acknowledge it.
yeah.
Don't try and get out of it necessarily, but even with that sad, or that heaviness, or however it does feel, you also have to be present for what's beginning, and for
Mhm.
the doors that are opening. And so, how are you going to do that? Because that's also that part of addressing the resistance.
Exactly right.
Because it's probably
Mhm.
clearing stuff up that you need to just get off your plate. Just get off, just
Mhm.
so I can go forward, maybe upgrade my life in some way, be that proactive about it, and see where that takes me.
Mhm. And I've actually been telling myself, it's funny, she always says things that I'm thinking anyway, but but I've been thinking about that a lot. It's like, it's like it's okay. You have to deal with the way you feel about losing him, and like today's his 2-month anniversary, and and I was like, emotional about that before and stuff. But I'm like, he'd want you to be happy. He'd want you to succeed, and you still hear everything that he's saying in your head all the time. So it's not like he's really gone or anything.
And your
And
spirit, and the
right,
hugs, and sometimes he's
exactly.
right behind me, and some like.
Exactly. So it's just another way of feeling into it, and cherishing that love, and making
Yes.
it part. I did that. I had a post today about it being part of you now.
Well,
You know, it's like,
he and I were talking about that 2 nights ago.
oh, see. Well, he's making his rounds. It's
Because
like,
when I accidentally brought Rob's phone,
oh,
upstairs instead of my own phone, and so all I had was Rob's phone. I didn't have my alarm clocks, but I was looking at the pictures, and I was talking to
oh,
him in the pictures, and there was that
yeah.
that sense of connection.
I do that
Um,
too.
but for me, that's always kind of like the magic of retrogrades and eclipses and all of that. It's that not just review, because so many people say retrogrades are review energy, but it's like it's reconnection,
Yeah.
and reconnection, or a new growing connection sometimes, to where you need to be, so that you can, deal with that stuff that's in resistance, that you're in resistance with. And it could be petty resistance. I mean, the universe certainly doesn't like discriminate. I mean, I know I still have to call and get an appointment for our car. I'm waiting for the washer guy to call me back, because the washer is still broken, but it's in process, and I can feel good about that. And I can say, all right, universe, that's in process. Let's see where that's going. I mean, maybe I have to wait another week. We'll see. I'll keep that in my mind, because wait another week, because then we'll be going into the active phase of Mercury retrograde, and that's when all those things tend to just clear up on their own. But communication says, "Oh, wait, I was supposed to get there." Yeah, okay. So, it's really nothing to be afraid of. And I almost say, get a little adventurous, get a little bold during these times, and see where that energy is going to take you over the next 2 weeks, and how it's going to change how things resolve themselves, because they will. Most like there's nothing that won't resolve itself in one way, shape, or form. Like it's just that, are you going to be the conscious creator with this, and take that bolder action, that more proactive action, or are you gonna like put your head in the sand again? Xander's definitely going to put his head in the sand because
Yes.
that is Xander's like nature.
He didn't like the sweeper today even.
No.
Oh God, a new one. Why do you people
Yep.
do this to me?
The mailman didn't bring him cookies today. It brought him a new vacuum cleaner. that was not a happy day for Xander. There he is. There's Mr. Xander. So we have talked to you, and I don't see any comments.
Nope.
No, you don't see any comments either. Oh, but people are still watching.
Yay.
But how have you been dealing with the chaos? You know, let us know. We can certainly chat about it. But before we completely jump off, because we've been on for 20 minutes already, Andrea has a pre-sale announcement.
Yes. To help you understand what Holy Fire is and what Holy Fire Reiki is and what my services are going to be like, I am doing a 33 special where you get a 15-minute alignment. Sorry, distractions. Dogs. Holy Fire Reiki alignment, and then a 15-minute follow-up so you understand how the coffee with Andrea part goes, because our coffee chats are all about this intuitive guidance, like a coaching session that like kind of helps you through it helps you understand all the feelings and insights you're getting from the Reiki session. And once the packages are released, there'll be also experiences. And it all really unravels in the days to come. And that's the difference between your regular kind of Reiki and the Holy Fire, is that it's a little bit more of this intuitive guidance, because Holy Fire is a frequency that is like this added bonus to the normal hands-on approach to Reiki. So you're getting both. You're getting your alignment, and you're getting some influence from the Holy Fire frequency. So there's a lot to process afterwards. So that's what this little pre-sale is, just so you can get a little bit of a taste of how it all works, because it might be a little confusing. And you'll be hooked immediately. I know you will, because it's a very exciting, different way of having a healing journey. And it's all about teaching you how to heal yourself. I have a friend helping me make my very own journal to go along with the packages. So that's exciting too, to help you journal your way through it too. So lots of stuff coming, but the pre-offer is active now.
But you should be able to click the link, and it will take you to a Facebook group, and that's where she'll be sharing information about how to sign up for the packages, or any questions you might have beforehand while we're getting her sales page ready.
Yes.
Because I've been going all in on tech and all that wonderful stuff, but we will make sure to drop that link in the comments when we get off, because I'm doing a Mystik Web Society founding launch very shortly. I'm just trying to figure out what I want to do to launch it. And so if you have like this tangled mess of software and apps and things that like should be going together for your business, but you're not sure how, you can't even get your email thing working right, and like, or maybe you even need a website because maybe, you know, a certain craft marketplace, you know, just decided they didn't want you anymore after being a star seller for 5 years, and then stick the bots on you. You know, the easiest way to get your business back online is, of course, to start your own website that you're going to own the content, and you're going to start your email list because you're going to own that, and you will always be able to sell with those tools, and nobody can really take those away from you. So it's really what you can do to really build your business foundation strong now. And so that's all the kind of stuff that we'll be talking about and we'll be doing click by click by click in the Mystik Web Society. So if you need any of that kind of help, I'm your girl. Get on the free wait list and you'll hear all about the launch that will be coming up. All right. So if you're watching this on replay, certainly do hashtag replay and let us know what has been coming up for you this eclipse season. What are you looking forward to? What is your favorite conspiracy theory about what's going to go down on April 8th? I want to know. I really want to know. I love that kind
Juicy
of conversation. All right. And we will be posting on Friday when we go out for coffee together.
Yeah, it's our birthday weekend.
Is it?
Yeah, well, if the 8th is eclipse, then the 10th is coming up, and this would be
Yeah.
the coffee chat that we
Oh,
would do it
This
with.
is my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
You can tell I planned this. Right. And then I'll be dropping the Magic Bringers Rising Energy Report for the actual eclipse on Sunday sometime. And
Yeah,
we'll
coffee
be
chats.
around for
Yeah.
next week.
We're good to go.
Yes.
Yes.
So don't forget to hit follow on wherever you're catching this, so that way you get the notification for next time we go live. All right. Love you all. Happy Eclipse Week.